Hi guys, I just received a new package from MoYu. I've already taken off the outside, but I still have the inside left. And to be honest, I have no clue what's in here. So let's go dig in.
All we know is it's number 2.
Yep, that's right, number 2 right here. I was not expecting a big package. Well, I wasn't expecting a package, period. And this is a big package, so it's clearly lots of stuff. I guess it's like an old Christmas present. I mean, late Christmas present or something, because New Year's present, perhaps?
No, it's old. They recycled it from last year.
MF6. And it looks like a fancy package in here. If I can finally open this thingy. Alright.
Let's see what
wow. Splash Gold 3. Okay. So, we've got an MF6 here. 6. I think it's the last of the MF series end by end cube, still 7x7. Ooh, we've got a cool sparkly cube here. And, ooh, MoYu Cubing Dream. Oh, a new AoSu magnetic GTS. 4x4. Maybe it's in response to the issues and core. Oh, 4x4 core. And it looks like pins in here. So, okay, maybe it's a spare core just in case. I guess they caught wind of my 4x4 breaking. Or, well, I did talk to them about it, so. They didn't say they were going to send something, but maybe they expressly did. And the AoHun Megaminx, finally MoYu has released a Megaminx. I'm going to start with that because I think it's the most exciting thing. So we've got here, and then we've got a few cards here. This one seems to be taped or stuck in somehow. And this is, it looks like Jiayu Wang. And other card here. So, wow. Seems pretty good out of the box, very fast. In fact, it's faster than my Galaxy Megaminx is right now. Now you can notice at the edges, it's straighter than the Galaxy Megaminx. There's less, like it covers more of the part, but it's not as much as the AoSu Megaminx. I found the AoSu Megaminx was a little long and even can be a little pointy when you turn it, so I really like the way that they've done this. Make sure that you have extra grip, but not too long that it can get in the way or lock up or something like that. So, corner cutting seems to be nice, seems pretty springy, and reverse corner cutting as well. Now, colors are very important in this, and looking really quickly, they seem to be excellent colors. Just like, I think they might be even exactly the same shades as the Galaxy Megaminx. The ones that I'm usually the most worried about are white and cream. You can see they are kind of close. Let's see. This is cream and yellow. They're not quite as close as they seem to be on camera, I think. And then white and cream are a little different. This might be a little hard to solve in lower lighting, but still it seems to be pretty good for that. Now, I'll just give it a quick mix up and see how it performs. So something that I'm generally scared about with Megaminxes is that they kind of flex and get out of alignment, and then they lock up after that. And from what I'm getting right now, that doesn't seem to be too much of an issue with this Megaminx. Yeah, it seems to be pretty stable. It's definitely not the same thing as the original YJ Megaminx, and it's definitely faster than the Cubing Classroom Megaminx, which was also pretty good. So yeah, I'm not going to do a full solve just because it takes a while. You can also see here they have a bit of the other kind of ridge as well, so they tried to integrate both, I guess, because for some reason MoYu really likes to have that kind of indent in the Megaminx as opposed to having something on the outside, and that's what they've done for all of the other Megaminxes, but they definitely decided to be a little different with this one. So for now, this Megaminx seems to be excellent. I'm not exactly sure how much or how it compares to the Galaxy, although right now they definitely seem to be of very similar quality. I can't tell you right now which one is better, but this one is definitely a good contender for it. So this one I'm just going to go really quickly. Oh, it's a nice stickerless one, and it does come with spare magnets. That's something I got with the other cube, but I did not notice it on camera, so I didn't mention it. And it comes with the typical stuff with the fancy MoYu cubes. It doesn't have that little insert. Oh no, it does have a little insert here. Okay, it's not coming out really easily, but maybe it's glued in there. I'm not quite sure. So typical MoYu cards. Keaton fell down there. So now I have a few more magnets that I could be able to use. And wow, it's nice and fat. Wow, This one's actually significantly faster than my other one was. So here I have the old one. And it's a little slower even though I have lubed it and everything. And this one out of the box is wow. It's faster and springier. I don't know if they've made modifications to it since they sent it to me. Probably to the core. Although, seeing it now, it might just be a little looser simply because, I mean, a little faster because of looser tensions. That could be it. Now, I've heard people having issues with when they turn it like this, the layers misalign. Now, this one, with my old cube, it's not an issue at all. Oh, funny. Usually it's not an issue, but right now we can see it's a bit of an issue. But you have to flick really hard. If I just flick gently, then they're staying together. The magnets are definitely doing their job. Now, this cube seems to be a little... The magnets seem to be a little, maybe not quite strong enough, but the cube is quite loose, so that's probably mostly what the problem is. So overall, I think that the stickerless puzzle, I don't think it's just the tensions. The stickerless plastic might be a little better than the black plastic. But that is definitely something that I have to do more solves with it to really get that right. Now, I'm just going to look at this because I think it's the core. I think it's some kind of a replacement core for the 4F4. Oh, that wasn't even close. But what these things are, okay. MoYu pins. I guess it's kind of like the pins that Felix wears for GAN. I guess MoYu saw that and decided they wanted to do something like that too. Alright. Okay, so this is a core. I'm just looking at the core real quick. I'm going to look at the pins, see if I can see any change from the old one. It looks just about the same. I can't really tell if there's a difference or not. Maybe they changed the plastic to reinforce it. Maybe it is just the same thing. I don't know. But definitely with the newer versions, or the newer cubes, not necessarily newer versions, I'm not really sure what it is. There hasn't been as many problems. So they must have changed something, although I'm not really sure what it is. Now I have an MF6. So it's the last MoFang Joshi Cubing Classroom 6x6. Oh, it's nice, it's stickerless. I'm not sure if the other ones came in stickerless, it's like the other MF somethings. But this is definitely very nice. Alright, so just like I would expect from a Cubing Classroom big cube, out of the box it's a little stiff, and it does seem to be pretty tight. But it's a little dry. It just needs some lube mostly, and maybe loosening. Although perhaps the reason why they keep it this tight is that it could pop. I don't want to speculate too much about that, but otherwise the turning is very smooth. And I'm gonna have to give it some more solves and to lube it and see how that goes. It definitely seems like it could use a bit of breaking in. But as I'm turning it, it does seem to be getting a little better. So that's why I think breaking in is definitely something that could help, and perhaps lubing and loosening a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't pop. I'm not quite sure.
If I can interject a little bit.
Yes, André?
My thinking is that seeing as most cubes actually come pre-lubed now, it might just be a lubrication thing. Because
yeah, that's true. Maybe it's just not lubed.
Before cubes tended to come lubed, that sound is something I recognize as this turns well, but it just needs to be lubricated.
That could be it. Now we have the crystal cube, and I guess they wanted to emphasize the crystal effect by putting it in transparent packaging. I'm not entirely sure exactly.
Looks more
it
like
seems to be a MoFang. Yeah, it's a Cubing Classroom, or I think it's a Cubing Classroom product. These characters there seem to be more characters than MoYu, so I'm assuming it's Cubing Classroom. So, turns pretty well. It's got little flowers, and it's transparent, so it's cute. I don't know if these can come off and be changed. They seem to be, it seems to be pretty flush. So I think that they're in a bit of an indent.
They look like they're set in to me.
Yeah. So I don't know if that means that they're changeable, or it's just they wanted the texture to be more appealing as opposed to those old similar cubes which had big things popping out. It seems pretty cool. The turning of the puzzle itself, it's a little tight. I don't think it's quite as good as They're mainstream cheap 3x3s. I don't think it's as good as an MF3 or an MF3RS. I think it's maybe one of the older mechanisms, like a, I don't even remember what those are called. But yeah, so it's pretty good, but it's a little tight, and the reverse corner cutting isn't very good, but I don't think it's made to be speed solved. It's just made to look cool and still not be bad, essentially. And oh, it's got gray instead of white, or maybe silver.
Black.
Whatever.
It's a transparent black.
The transparent black.
That's what I'm calling it, transparent black.
Well, I suppose if you put in a reflection, it looks a little darker. Okay, now finally, this one is called the Splash Gold 3x3 cube. So that doesn't kind of look like what it sounds. It looks like a black cube with outside edges, and it's just splashed with gold.
Okay, that is cool.
It's a.
I gotta say, I like that personally.
You like the design?
That looks cool.
Well, I guess yeah.
It's the reverse of what you normally have on a cube. Usually you've got colored stickers and black plastic, but they've reversed it and added a dash of gold. I find that looks really cool.
I have seen a few other cubes. I don't know if MoYu makes some with the same design with black and then colors on the outside. I've definitely not seen any that have been splashed like this. Now, if you look at if this is comp legal or not, I would say definitely no, just because every piece has a different design on it. And so it's possible to differentiate the different pieces, but I don't think this is a cube you want to bring to competition anyways. Just given that the turning isn't... Well, okay, similarly to the MF6, it seems to be a little dry, but that's probably just because it hasn't been lubed, so lubing would probably help it a lot. So you can see it is a little tight, and I think it's probably the same base mechanism 3x3 as this cube. So, to sum this up, a few novelty cubes here with different patterns and designs that do look pretty cool, and they could be nice collectioner's items, or if you want to give them as gift to another person, or maybe even a non-cuber would think that these are particularly attractive and like them.
Or your cuber who already has all cubes. If this is quite novel as far as I'm concerned. I'm actually trying this out right now.
And then here, the AoSu GPS M. Stickerless version, perhaps a revised version, I'm not sure, but it does, I suppose, enhance my opinion of the puzzle, because it seems to be better than my other one, even though I had tried this one at looser tensions and it didn't seem to perform quite as well as this one, so maybe it's just the stickerless plastic, I'm not sure. And then the MF6, which is nice and stickerless as well, and it has a matte finish on it, just like the MF3, and I guess this one too, yeah, I didn't notice. But yeah, so it's... The turning out of the box is a little rough, needs some breaking in and lubing, but it seems like it'll be smooth and pretty good after that. But it is a budget cube, so it's obviously not as good as something like the mainstream Speed Cube 6x6s. I said that a little wrong. Anyways, and then the MoYu Megaminx, the AoHun, I believe. Yeah, so it comes in a nice snazzy box, and it has very fast turning even just out of the box. Good corner cutting, good springiness. I think they already tensioned it quite well. And it does have the ridges on the outside as opposed to the inside. And it's quite good, definitely comparable to the Galaxy Megaminx. I'm not sure how the prices compare. Now, unlike the Galaxy Megaminx, something I'm thinking about right now, I really doubt you can change the tiles. Let's take a piece out. So yeah, the mechanism actually does look quite like the cubing classroom, and well, I don't know. In any case, you can't take off the tiles like the Galaxy, but in my opinion,
you could probably separate the pieces.
Yeah, you could
and redo the colors if you wanted to.
Yeah, so you could change the color scheme in that way, but just I found that taking off the caps in the Galaxy Megaminx, if you don't want to change the colors, because the colors are already good, I thought it was just a pain because it would make it loose, and so when I transport my Galaxy Megaminx, I would always have to transport it in a little baggie in case, because the caps would come off pretty easily and I wouldn't want to lose them. And when we were in Latin America, I remember it was Felix and Jay, their caps would always fall. I think Felix once, when he just dropped the Megaminx to stop the timer, a couple caps came off. So this is not something you're going to have an issue with on this cube. I think Chi and X-Man Design decided to go a little over the top, but it didn't really necessarily work as well as they had hoped. They tried to go a little too far with that, but that is definitely something that's not an issue with this. Of course, you can't change the tiles, but I don't think that's an issue. They definitely have a good grip mechanism and good colors. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it ran a little long, but I wanted to make sure to give enough information and talk about everything adequately. So thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.